Hi there. Very good morning and good afternoon to all of you, depending on wherever you're watching me. This is Simply Stocks, and I'm live with this session with you all. And hopefully, you all are doing well on this Sunday morning. And today, I want to bring to you a couple of stocks from a different domain altogether that has come out, that have gone out of fashion or gone out of the prediction, but can do well in a couple of weeks or so when the season arrives. So we'll discuss about that in detail as we go along in this session. Plus, I'll answer your queries and we'll discuss about the markets and about sports as well. So a lot of things going on. So hopefully you all are doing well. So and your trading is also is performing well because there are stocks that are performing right now in the mid and small cap arena. Another announcements I want to make here is that from today onwards, hopefully by today evening, I'll put up the small and you can say micro cap watch list in which there'll be around 20 stocks in from the small and micro cap domain that everybody wanted on Patreon. So all the WhatsApp and Patreon members will be getting that along with a set watch list that I have of mid cap stocks. So there'll be mid cap stocks, mid cap, large cap stocks around 20, and there'll be a small and micro cap, you can say, set of stocks around 20 that I believe are going to be big going forward in the next 2 3 years. That will be there, and I'll give details on them as well on Patreon as well as on WhatsApp. So uh, if you are not a member, you can become a member and have a look at that as well, plus my portfolio, etc., and whatever changes I do, and short term calls as well that I put up with stop losses, etc. So everything is there on Patreon, everything is there on WhatsApp. If you end up becoming a annual member on WhatsApp, you need to be an annual member. So that's a small announcement that I had to make. Mohammad Ismail, Walaikum Salam. Hope you're doing well. Ashim, a very good morning to you. Hope things are going well. Before I begin this session in earnest and talk about those couple of companies that I feel that those companies that will do extremely well on a shorter term basis, global players. Let's just discuss about sports a little bit, and then we'll discuss about the markets, and then we'll come to the point of discussing about those two companies. And finally, at the end for 5 7 minutes, I'll answer your queries as well. So as more people join in, it's a Sunday nearly afternoon, so hopefully more people should join in, and we'll begin the session in earnest. Let's begin the session by talking about sports. A lot of events going on. We have the under 19 women's World Cup going on, where India uh, beat South Africa, if I'm not wrong, just recently. So yesterday, so they did well. And we had a situation where Bangladesh went on to beat the Bangladesh women's side went on to beat Australia in the under 19 World Cup. So that was a pretty big result for the Bangladesh women, with the kind of, you can say, infrastructure and growth that they have seen over the years. This is a big result for them. So that's one. The big event that is going on is in Bhubaneswar and Raurkela, and that is the men's hockey World Cup. And so India beat Spain by 2 goals to nil. And normally Spain had turned out to be a very tough opponent in the FIH Pro League for the Indian men's side. So it was a decent result, but India could have scored 2 3 goals more. They missed chances, they missed penalty corners. So today will be a very interesting day because this is a big match against England, and whoever wins might end up topping the group, and that is extremely important because top four, I mean the top of each group from the four groups, whoever tops the group goes directly into the quarterfinals, whereas the second and third place teams play in the crossover matches. So. If India finishes second, then there is a chance that India might take on Germany in the quarterfinal, and that will be a very tough, you can say, encounter if you remember how the Olympics bronze medal match panned out. So, it's most important for India to win all three matches and top the group, so that they face a slightly easier opponent in the quarterfinals. Remember, in 2018 as well, they lost in the quarterfinals against the Netherlands. So if they want to avoid that circumstances, then it's better that they end up winning against England, which will be a very tough match. England beat Wales by 5 goals to nil in their first encounter. They looked pretty good. So it's going to be a very interesting encounter today. Plus, we have India taking on Sri Lanka in the third one day internationals. Uh, Again, a match that India should end up winning. And now, with the announcements of the teams for the New Zealand one dayers and T20, it looks like that the management wants KL Rahul, Rohit Sharma, and Virat Kohli to play the longer format of the white balls and the test matches rather than T20 international, which is, if that happens, I believe that will be the best decision in the interest of the Indian team and India, because we need fresh blood and youngsters in the T20 internationals, and hopefully in 2024, with Hardik Pandya leading the side, we can do one better, at least get to the finals and win it probably in the West Indies. So that is extremely important. Plus, the one day side is panning out well with Virat Kohli coming back into top form. Rohit Sharma, if he continues to score big, I think the top three need to perform. And now the question will be whether Ishan Kishan opens or it will be Shubman Gill. So we'll see that. But the one day side is panning out well with 6, 7 all rounders playing. Post, you can say Surya Kumar Yadav at number 4. So I think things are coming back into shape before the One Day World Cup in October and the T20 World Cup in the West Indies. So that is something to look forward to. The Australian Open begins tomorrow. So let's see how Novak Djokovic plays out after 3 years of hiatus from the Australian Open. He comes back. So in the fourth year, so after 2019. So will be interesting to see that as well. So looking forward to all these events and looking forward to how all this pans out. Now coming back to the market. So the markets are up and down as expected, volatile as expected, range bound, and I think this is going to continue until and unless there is a you can say clarity that comes from the US with respect to when the rate hikes, you can say, end up. You can say rate hikes ends, and we are heading towards a rate cut. So that we need to probably look at, and probably the markets will remain in a range bound mood between 18,000 on the top end, 18,000, 18,100 to 17,000, 200 levels. Kaushal, a very good morning to you. Valega Ravi Kumar has stated here. So I was stuck in India Bulls real estate at 490 stocks with average price of 92. Your view on the stock, please. I would suggest, with the kind of, you can say, trepidation and you can say hindrances that the real estate sector is facing at the moment. And in a stock, you are into a stock in which there has been management change. Yes, better, you can say, management and fund houses have gotten. But I would say that if you get your price back, if the stock goes anywhere around 85, 90, you book out of it and get into consumer centric companies, or get into companies which are more global centric in nature, because things may change from March, April onward. So you're having many IT, mid cap IT companies coming at 15, 16 times earnings. You have many pharma companies that are down. So if you can analyze those in agri also and other sectors, you can probably get into them rather than being in the real estate. I can tell you that I have tried my hand big time in real estate stocks, and it hasn't worked out. It doesn't mean it will not work out for you, but it's extremely difficult to analyze prices, analyze results, analyze as to how things would go ahead, say 6 months down the line. So that's my call here. Okay, so coming back to the market, so I believe it will be range bound between 17,100 200 to 18,100 200. But mid cap and small cap, I believe, should start performing, and that is happening. That select mid caps and small caps are doing well. Some of them are correcting as well, but all of them are giving buying opportunities. So I think this is the time in the next 2 3 months to get into very high quality mid cap small caps which are going to come up with very decent results, and that's why I'm coming up with the watch list for small caps and micro caps which are under 500 crores and all those under 1000 crore market cap, because I feel that this is the time to get into them from even a 2 3 year perspective to make big money, because these go up 5 6 8x and not just double or triple. So that's the call on them. So that is my opinion on the overall market. I might be wrong. I have the right to be wrong, but here I feel that nifty stocks or large stocks may not perform this year that much the way they have performed the last time around or in the last 6 months, especially banking and financial stocks which have gone up so much. They might take a break for a while, and other sectors may perform. So that's about the markets. Coming back to the two stocks that I wanted to talk to you about. So these two stocks are from the agricultural space, not from you can say pharma or IT. I have given five stocks from the IT domain. I should be coming up with five stocks in the pharma domain soon, because I feel that the global centric stocks. I'm sorry, global centric stocks that have fallen over the last 8 9 months, and some IT companies that have been falling for the last year or so. I think they are going to come back into focus because their valuations have become extremely attractive, and just even a little a little idea of the global economy reviving will see these stocks perform. So I bring to you a couple of stocks which are global centric but are agri in nature, and they are into agri products, making agri products, fertilizers, and other kind of, you can say, nutrients for plants. One is Coromandel International. I believe Coromandel International has corrected appreciably from the highs, and from levels of say 1000 it used to be, it's under 900 rupees, and it normally doesn't give you very big, you can say, ranges with respect to lows and highs. So I think this is the time to accumulate Coromandel International, even from a 1 year perspective, to have 20 25% return. The agri season will begin from late February and will continue till July August September here in India, and globally also the monsoon season is round about the same time, apart from the southern hemisphere. So I believe that these are very good levels to accumulate. Again, margin of safety is big around these levels in Coromandel. I don't see huge downside, and one or two good results and a couple of good news will take the stock much higher from the current levels. I won't be surprised if you see 1100 1150 on the stock over the next 6 months. So that's a Coromandel International for you. Second stock that I like and have been doing well over the last 18 months, even when the stock has not moved much for the last 5 6 months, but even in distress and the market falling and the mid cap small cap index falling, the stock has been resilient, and this is Sumitomo Chemicals. I believe Sumitomo Chemicals as well should come out with very strong March and June quarter numbers. And so by July, August, or in the next 6 8 months, we can see a good 20 25% upside on the stock. I won't be surprised if we see 600 to 630 on the stock in the next 6 months or so. So this is another stock to keep an eye on, Sumitomo Chemicals, from current levels, and I have no doubt that uh, again the margin of safety in here is big. If you see maximum, the stock could go to 460 460 455. Currently the stock is at 490 495. So 10% downside if you buy at 500, say a 460 stop loss, and we could see the stock go to 650 over the next 6 8 months. So another stock that could give you 30% 25 30% with a 10% downside maximum, if you really want to keep a stop loss. But I think this is another stock that should end up performing extremely well So Sumitomo Chemicals and Coromandel International for me. If you want to play the international theme, if you want to play the global theme, these two stocks are looking pretty good with the monsoon season and agri season upon us in the next month or so. So this is something to really look at. So I'm ready to answer your queries. Kindly use the super chat and super sticker feature that is helping grow the channel. That will help you also ask me questions and eke out answers in greater detail. All right. Ashim, can Loris Lab hold for long term? That is for 3 years. I think it's a decent buy and hold for 3 years. I think this all will revive over the next 3 years. If you have a 2 to 3 year time frame, then something like a Loris Lab, Divi's Lab, Dr. Reddy's, these will perform. But the problem is what will happen in the next 6 months. I believe in the next 6 8 months, the stocks may fall more. I won't be surprised because the valuation in something like specifically in Loris Lab wasn't that cheap either. So a similar thing akin to this is what is happening with KPIT Tech. So this is a completely different company in different sector. But if you look at valuation compared to other IT companies, it is trading at 60 times earnings. Now, one bad result or one subdued result may take it down by 30 40%, and that is exactly what happened with Loris Lab. It was giving profitability growth of 30 35%, and suddenly it gave profit growth of 15 17%, and the management wasn't gung ho for 1 or 2 quarters, and the stock has fallen about 40 50% from the top. So that is where I've always said that you have to understand as to how the valuations of the company is. So at the moment, I feel Loris Lab is a buy below 400 at these levels. I think it is a very attractive, but you should be having 2 to 3 year time frame. That's the call. Okay. What else? New Reka. So interesting, Nanrajan. See, New Reka was a big IPO. The stock went up and it was trading at very high valuations. And then the results started to come in, and people understood that what happened in FY 20 and 21 was an outlier effect of the pandemic. And that's why the company came out with such growth in the top line and bottom line. And now we are seeing the effect of it with the kind of numbers it is producing. If you are holding the stock on any rally, exit. If you don't have the stock, do not enter until and unless it comes back into profitability. A company going into losses from profits may take years to come back. So, and especially something like Nureka, which is into selling medical products online, things have opened up completely. And I don't see, even with what is happening in China, hopefully, and fingers crossed, I don't see a big effect here in India, because probably 80 90% of the population have already contacted the pandemic indirectly or directly, and they might know or don't know it. So things might be better here. So I don't think Nureka may do very well in the next year and a half or so. So it's better to exit. If you don't have, don't buy. If you have it, exit on rallies. So Venki is positive again, a company that is probably that has effects of raw material cost, of product cost, say eggs, etc., chicken, etc. It has effect of it. It does well in winters, does not don't do that well in summers, etc. I would say it's a good trading play. You can trade into it, buying low, selling high, and all that. I won't say it's a very big long term investment play. So that's the call. Very good morning, sir. A view on Gokul Agro Industry. I don't track that, Vijay. I won't be able to comment immediately on it. So won't be able to comment. Okay, so EPL is SL Propack. So see, the business is good, company is doing well. It is just the valuations part that is slightly stretched on EPL. The stock, see, again, a trader's favorite, something that when does well for a shorter period of time. So these companies do well for a shorter period of time. They perform better in that time frame. But very difficult to say that whether this is a very good investment bet again. So the stock is trading around 160, 167. I was trying to open that up. I feel that one can accumulate here and sell around 200. That's a call on EPL. Okay. Piramal is an avoid. The whole group with the kind of you can say leverage it has, and even the pharma in the pharma. See, when you buy into or get into any sector, look at how the sector valuations are. So in IT and pharma, with the valuations being so cheap compared to what it was say about a year back, it's better to buy the best in the business, something like a Tata Elxsi, something like a Divi's, Dr. Reddy's. They have all come down. These will perform better. Plus, you'll have a lot of margin of safety and very less chance of losing a lot of money if the sector performs. Okay. Very decent company LTTS. I think one can start accumulating here. If you have 18 months time frame, you will hopefully generate good profits in here. So that's the call. Happiest mind. See, unless it comes out with very good growth of 40-50%, the valuations are still stretched. And this is what I was calling about even when I was holding on to it and when I sold and everything. The valuations were extremely stretched in late 2021, and over the last 15 18 months it has done nothing, in fact come down. So that's my call on Happiest. But Sagar, yes, Mastech looks attractive. And one more thing that has happened with Mastech is that FIIs have got in around 8% of stake. FIIs have increased in the September, I think in the September quarter. So this is something to really look at. I think even technically it seems like 1500 was the low and now it is consolidating and ready for a move. So yes, Mastech around here is a decent enough buy in my opinion. That's my call. So ease my trip or easy trip planners, that's what you're talking about. I think it is around 50 to 54 rupees. You can accumulate, but again, a stock that is trading at 20-25 times sales, uh, very expensive on the sales basis. But if you look at the PE basis of 50-60 times, it is uh, reasonably valued. I won't say it is attractive at the even at these levels. So if you are ready to take some risk, you can buy at these levels. Otherwise, avoid. And that's the call. Tata Communication is a decent company performing well. On declines can be accumulated, but not at current levels. So that's a call. I think chemicals have had a big run over the last 6 years complete. 2016, I think 7 years from early 2016 to end of 2022. I think now it's time to look at other sectors. Uh, Wait for sharp declines in the chemical sector to buy into. Very big declines that people talk about that sector, that okay, now they are down, the stocks are down 40, 50, 60%, and probably then get into it. Otherwise avoid most of it, including something like fine organics. So that's my call there. So basically what I mean by all this is that you need to get into companies now where the valuations have become cheaper and you feel that the doldrums and the pathetic nature of that particular sector is about to come to an end. Whatever performance, bad performance or high raw material costs or whatever hindrances that the sector was having may end in the next 3 to 4 months, then you probably get into it. That's what I feel about the global oriented stocks. I think the worst is probably behind us and things should look better from March, April onwards. So similarly, you have to look at the stocks and how they are performing, because every stock corrects. You look at a Bajaj Finance, even it has corrected, and now it has come out with you can say statements that the growth will not be the same and the stock is not moving anywhere. So everything corrects and you have to wait for that opportunity to buy into. That's what I have always learned over the last 10 years or so. Again, Asian Paints at current levels as an SIP, absolutely, this is a very good level to buy. In fact, you can buy 20% of your complete holding here. I think 2900 to 3000 looks good. A disclaimer, I have the stock at lower levels I have bought, but these levels are very attractive. It's trading at 75, 80 times. It has corrected from the top. It has done nothing for the last 12, 15 months. Uh, really good to get into something like an Asian Paints. Okay. So Aster DM is also a decent company in the hospital industry, and I feel one can accumulate here and have a 2 year time frame to make it big, because once the mid cap and small cap rally comes around, these stocks will perform. At the moment, they are taking a break. So yes, it can be bought into at these levels. All right, guys. Thank you. Thanks a lot for being online. Please like and subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon so you can get my videos straight away when I post it. And kindly support me on Patreon. Become a WhatsApp member if you want to. You can directly email me, and you can get an annual membership there as well. Thank you.